On my website in hour 3 of a progressive 40-hour lesson plan, I introduce patterns which combine with the verb to be. For example, I am going to go, I am able to go, I am studying, I'm supposed to go. And then also this combination of patterns that are using the verb to be. So any verb, you simply change this. I am thinking of going. She's thinking about telling him. And in that hour, we just study these patterns to familiarize students with the use of the verb to be in questioning. Are you thinking of going? Were you thinking of going? Wasn't she thinking of going? So in the beginning, I don't like to distract people with a lot of different variations, but I did want to call to your attention this variation of this pattern, which is also commonly used, both in the past, the present, and the future. They are totally the same. However, this pattern does not really have a future tense use that much that I'm aware of. But here are identical patterns. In the past tense, I thought of going. I thought about going. In the present, I think of reading that book a lot. I think about traveling to Europe. Or in the future tense, I'll think of taking her, I'll think about bringing the kids. So it's simply, the pattern remains the same, simply the verb changes. It's as simple as that. With questions with what, where, why, when, I've introduced here a few sample questions which just give examples of this pattern being used. Who thought about telling her that? And just simple questions without what, where, why, when. Didn't she think about buying that? And sentences without what, where, why, when. She thought about calling him later. So these are patterns which, once you begin to utilize, you will always sound good. You will not make a mistake because the pattern always remains the same. You're just changing the verb. In the present tense, the same thing. Where do you think of taking her? When does she think of calling him the most? So this is in the present tense, and these are some samples with the sentences and simple questions without what, where, why, when. In the future tense, we also have this pattern. With these two combinations, usually the future tense is not used a lot. But if you do need to use the future tense, it is available with this particular pattern. And here are some examples which you can see. I'll be putting this as in the intro section of when I introduce the patterns, both as this printout, which if you want to, you can print out, or you can view this particular video that you're seeing. Think also is used a great deal when asking an opinion. And it's simply, what do you think of, in verb ing, what do you think about meeting her later? Of and about are interchangeable. So some examples here. What do you think of telling her? What did she think about getting that? So you're asking an opinion. The answer is simply, I think, and a sentence. That is optional. Beginning students tend to overuse I think and rarely begin using these commonly used patterns. So I just wanted to highlight for you some variations here. Once you get used to using this and feel comfortable with it, this is an option that you can use which is interchangeable and will help you to sound natural. Thank you.